Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Randy Prizzle's Lincoln Ting. Hope you're doing well. You know what it is, we get down straight to my dating, basically mishaps and misshapes, and obviously me checking out girls on the social apps, and basically me deciding if I'll date them or not. So basically, let's get into it. Margaret. One thing I'll never do, she says again. Trek underwater. Well, it seems like she probably had a bad nightmare there, and something basically hit her to the point where it's made her have sleepless nights about, you know, going underwater and stuff like that. I mean, underwater, that's a big deal, and the fact that she was able and brave enough to do that, you've got to give her big props. So big props to you, Margaret, for that. Margaret's 28, she's 5'6", she's a Christian. So we all get along if you love travelling but hate flying. I mean, I like travelling. I mean, flying, listen, my nerves go a bit weird during flying because my stomach goes all over the place, especially when the turbulence and when you're taking off. That's the part that gets me a bit going, and I start to like crap my pants a little bit. I don't actually crap my pants, but you know, it feels like there's a sensation coming up. Well, I may stop doing that, but no, let's leave that for another time for the podcast when I do that, so we can talk about that. But what she's saying next, my mantra is, if you really wanted to, you would. Well, yeah, you got to try and before you do things and get yourself out there. She's a good-looking girl. She's right height. You know what, Margaret? I'm going to give you a yes. Margaret's going to get a yes from me. Going on to the next person, Monique. Monique saying, next vacation I want to go on anywhere hot. I mean, you know. So would I, you know. I'd love to go on vacation now. Obviously right now funds are low, trying times here, lockdown and all of that, so we don't really have time to do anything like that now. Just trying to get through day by day. But let's get on to more what she's saying. She's 31, she's 5'8", a bit too tall for me, but you know what, let's just keep going, find out more about her. Pet peeves, flushing before putting the toilet lid down. Yeah, I mean, you know, so people tend to forget to do that, you know, they tend to flush and then the water splashes everywhere. When it splashes everywhere, hits your leg, hits everywhere, it's a bit gross, that is. You probably have to go back and wash the legs and stuff like that. It's not great, but highlight of her day usually is nighttime skincare routine. You know, as I said, I suffer from eczema, I have to cream like 2-3 times a day sometimes, so I understand the skincare routine, but it can get a bit peak at times, you know what I mean? You got to grease up, otherwise you're going to be left looking like some scaly fish or something. People scraping the ting off. You know, when fish comes and you have to scrape it, you have to get the scales off. That's what I could end up looking like, and I don't want to look like that. So anyways, for Monique, it's going to be a no for me for Monique, because obviously Monique is a bit too tall for me, and I'm not really feeling her, so she's going to get a no for me. Move on to the next person now, Josie. Josie's obviously got her tongue in a pint, which is quite weird, but so maybe she likes to lick a few things. But let's get on to more what she's saying. What I wanted to be when I grew up, an archaeologist, but I buried that dream ages ago. So that's very, very pun full of jokes there. She buried that dream ages ago. Yeah, she has a funny sense of humour, I could tell. She's 26, she's 5'3", productive assistant. Yeah. What more she's saying, she got detention for asking for more work. That's the first time I've heard that. Asking for more work gets you detention. But that's when like you can rub the teachers up the wrong way. You tell the teachers, hey, that work isn't enough, or you are better equipped than the teacher is. Basically, you know your stuff and the teacher doesn't, and then you start to tell the teacher, well, that's wrong because they said that wasn't the right case, and you know all the answers to everything. That's what can land you in trouble as well. So you've got to be careful for them things. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing she's saying. Where to find me at the party? You always find me in the kitchen at parties. Well, she loves to throw down the kitchen. Can't complain about that. I like one where can cook and stuff. So, but above all, for Josie, I'm not really feeling Josie, so it's going to be a no for me. But you know, the tongue trick, nice work. I think that could help any other people out who are probably interested in Josie. But let's go on to the next one. Amma. Typical Sunday, she's saying family, friends, or having a chill day. She's 30, she's 5'7". bit too tall for me, but you know, let's just keep going and see what she's saying. Yeah, she really wants to fly. We all do, but unfortunately, we can't because of what's going on. Overly competitive about a good game of blackjack, and she also likes Scrabble. Oh yeah, 2 of the games I like playing as well. Really good at blackjack. I really can, you know, I'm decent at that, you know. I've played my sister a couple of times, I've beaten my sister, so you know. Scrabble, yeah, Scrabble's my game too, but Monopoly is one of my games as well. Also, Cards Against Humanity is a good shout for people who've not played that. Really, really recommend that to people out there. But above all, she's missing that little je ne sais quoi for me, so for Anna, fortunately, it's going to be a no. Let's get on to the next one, which is, has no name. Okay, that's just weird. You don't have a name, but then, you know, there's a picture of you there. Okay, no name. Just call her Mysterious Girl, because she has no name. She's 26, she's 5'5". She has a picture of herself, you know, picture. Okay, I mean, okay, I'm not going to really, but let's get on to what she's saying. Her mantra is to be honest at all times. Yeah, it's scary, I know. I mean, yeah, it could piss a lot of people off, but you've just got to say it as it is, isn't it? So, kudos to that. On my bucket list, to see the Northern Lights. Yeah, the Northern Lights are pretty, really, really good looking. But for me, unfortunately, you don't have a name. Mysterious Girl. And I'm not really feeling her, so it's going to be enough for me. Let's get on to the next one, which is Tamsin. Tamsin just joined, it says there. Big up to Tamsin, who's just joined. So let's get on to what she said. She's never have I ever had a can of Coke. Well, don't sniff it, but you know, if you've had a can of Coke, it's a delightful thing, I'll tell you, trust me. You are missing out on a few of the taste of the flavours of different spices that come to your system when it hits your jaw. You would realise that. You will be like, wow. It takes you to a new days, a new space, a new ace, well, whatever. Ace, and we'll just stick with ace because that rhymes with space, so yeah. A life goal of mine, own a speedboat, she says. I'd prefer a house, but speedboat's fine, I guess. If you are living in water in Miami, scenes could be nice. We're the same type of weird if you appreciate a good accent. I like busting out a few accents, I can't lie to you, man. I do try and do that sometimes, so, you know. Well, you want me to try and bust one out now? Bloody hell, let's think. Put me on the spot here, you know. Kind of put me on the spot with these accent things. So, alright, let's try the Scottish. Well, you know, I've got to go and get my own brew. When I get the brew and I'm going to drink the brew, I feel all good inside. You know, my stomach and my heart and the energy. I got fun and a lot of desire to get through. It's all about the destiny. My destiny. I've got to approach and do what I've got to do to get by in the future. In that destiny, it approaches me in all different ways where it hits me, and it hits my heart and soul, and I've got to put my passion into it. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the best Scottish accent. Some people probably think it sucks, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. But that's kind of where I am with that. So yeah, you can try American if you want. Well, let's go a little bit American. So let's get on to the next girl, because after Tamsin, I'm not really feeling Tamsin. So Tamsin's gonna get a no from me. Jocelyn. Jocelyn says, what I'd like to know about you. What are you reading at the moment? I'm reading a few comic books, you know, reading here and there, you know, some Beano. I don't know if people know about Beano, but I'm reading some old school Beano. Again, back into the old school swing of Beano. So, yeah, Beano's cool. Anyways, I'm gonna stop that now. So, she's 26, she's 6'0", cabinet office. What if I told you that shyness is nice, but shyness can stop you from doing all the things in life you'd like to? Yeah, I used to be shy, I'm not going to lie to you guys. In some ways, yes, around the hot women, I could tend to be a bit shy because they're quite intimidating. When you're around too much women that are quite beautiful, it can take your breath away a bit, and then you start to stumble on your words and you can't say really much to them. So, yeah, but above all, next thing she's saying, I take pride in my excellent karaoke skills. I can throw down a few songs as well, like to, you know, bust out a few singing things, so maybe we can do the singing thing, but apart from linking and all of that, it's going to be enough for me. So when we get to the last one, which is Ashton, weird name for a girl, but okay, we just stick with that. Ashton is kind of a cutie, but she's looking down. obviously the floor, so I don't really know what she's looking at, but she's not looking at the camera. She's looking at the floor is not really a good sign, but let's go into what she's saying. My most controversial opinion is tea tastes like puddle water. What? You've never really had a good tea then. You know what I mean? When you have a good tea, you'll realise when it hits the spot, you will know about tea properly. I don't believe she said that, but let's get on to what more she's saying. She's 27, she's 5'7". She works in the NHS, big up to her, buddy. The NHS obviously doing us proud out there, you know, saving lives, so big up to the NHS. Biggest risk I've taken, every time I burst into song at an opportune moment or inappropriate moment. So I do that sometimes, but I you know, can sing. Sometimes I've done it on here, you know what I mean, like right here, right now. You see, I've done it again. But you know, this is like, oops, I did it again. I sang another song that made people run. Oh yay, yay, all of that. But yeah, let's get on to what more she's saying. We'll get along if you happily stand in the kitchen and chat while I test a new overall elaborate recipe. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Food is one of my passions. I like eating food, so cool, man. I'm down with that. You know what? Let's just not cut to the chase here. She's alright. I don't know if there's that je ne sais quoi there again, so I'm going to say no. So, and that's obviously the end of this episode of Ting this week. I'd thank you all for checking this out. You know what to do below if you liked this episode, and if you missed any future episodes, go back and check them as well. Okay, appreciate your time, guys. Link out! Link out! Oh, link out!